Good evening and welcome to My Time Yoga. I am Maureen Craig, doctorally prepared in nursing practice and a registered yoga teacher, giving our class this evening, and thank you for joining practice through UC Davis Integrative Medicine. So this evening I would like to encourage you, if you have one of these straps, to go ahead and bring it out because we will use it at the very end of practice. If you don't have one of these, then not to worry. We can still find other ways to get the hamstring stretch. So if you have one of these, let's set it up for our hamstring stretch. So you just take the loop and put it through both loops. Make a little circle at the end, and you can use other things like a band as well if you don't have one of these yoga straps. And then when you take the loop on the second one, you just put it through just the one on the way back. So that creates that D-ring loop so that you can do a stretch here with that where your foot will go in this at the end of practice, and we'll set that aside for then. Okay, so let's find a comfortable seated position, either with your legs crossed in front of you or on a block like I'm seated. Just take a moment to feel your body coming down to the earth, feeling the weight of your body. And you might rest your eyes, lowering your gaze or closing your eyes, whichever more comfortable for you. And begin to just use your mind's eye to check in with your physical body. Seeing if you're having anything that you're working on in particular, whether you're having pain or other sensations that might need a little attention or a good stretch from tension built up through the day. And then moving your attention to your thinking for a moment and just realizing where you've come from in the day and how the pace of the mind may be influenced by that. Take a nice breath in and then a long exhale. Moving to the emotional body, checking in with how you're feeling. Another full breath in and a long exhale. And whatever you find in the emotional body, saying welcome home. Just welcoming whatever experience you're having. As a human, any kind of emotion can and will flow through. Take a counted breath now, counting in for a count of 5 on the inhale, hold for 5, and then an exhale for a count of 7. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Letting go of counting, but letting the breath be a bit full on the inhale. And to slow the exhale, you might purse your lips and kind of blow through a straw. Softening the body and letting it release with the exhale. 2 more times, a full breath in. And a slow, lingering exhale as you surrender in the body. Once more now with a nice full breath in. And then a slow exhale until your exhale is complete. And then resuming the natural breath. I'll share Francis Bacon's words. We only have this moment of now. We only have this moment of now. Sparkling in the hand like a diamond and melting like a snowflake. Welcome yourself to now, your breath, your body, and caring for yourself. Lengthen through the spine and then gently drop the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Inhale as you grow tall. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen up. Drop the chin at 45 to the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, 45 degrees to the left. Inhale, lift the crown. Exhale, chin to chest. Draw a little smile on the chest with the chin. Draw your shoulders forward up towards your ears as your crown raises up. And then let your shoulder blades drop down the back. Do that shoulder roll a couple times, warming up the shoulders. Bring the hands out into a T. Feel that stretch, fingertip to fingertip. Roll the thumbs back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, open the heart. Bring the hands to namaste. Exhale here. Elbows together. Bloom a lotus and breathe fully into the back body. Exhale down. Repeat the lotus. Fill the back body. Exhale down. Once again, fill the back body. Exhale down. Inhale, reach for the sky. Honor your shoulders if you can't reach so high. It's fine to bring your hands just to your shoulders. And then exhale as your thumbs come back and down. Feel the heart lifting. Scoop up and close the rainbow. Hands to heart. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, slowly open. Inhale, scoop it up. Exhale, home. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Inhale, lift. And bring it home. Raise the arms out to cactus. The elbows are at the shoulder points. Spread fingers. Lift through the heart, breathing here. Exhale, twist off to the right, hand on the outside of the knee and hip. Lengthen through the spine as you gently rotate. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, rotate to the other side. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, rotate. And when you're done exhaling, bring your back hand down to the mat, lift the front hand up, and lengthen through that spine as you reach long in the twist. And then gently lift the heart as you breathe in. And releasing back to that cactus. Another breath in here. And twist to the other side. Let the back hand land, raise up through that front arm, lengthen through the spine as you twist. Inhale, lift the heart and breathe. And release. Bring your hands onto your knees. We'll do a little seated cat-cow. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, pushing through the small of the spine, navel to the spine, push it right out the back body. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, push that spine back. Following your breath here for 3 or so breaths. Warming up our spine. And then gently find your way over onto your hands and knees. We'll continue our warm-up. Hopefully you have a mat that's dense enough to protect your knees. So if your knees are feeling uncomfortable, you can always fold your mat and get a little more cushion under them. When you're in a good position, move your hands one handprint forward and then squeeze the glutes, lifting through the heart in this modified up dog. Squeezing the glutes helps protect the low back. Then push the hips all the way back as you lengthen out from fingertip towards tailbone. Let your ears come between your biceps. Coming back and forth here between these two positions. or modified up dog. Exhale back to that modified child's pose. Once more, float it forward. And take it back. Walk your hands back towards your knees as you tuck your toes, bring the heels close together. We're going to give ourselves a good stretch in the soles, so just push onto the mat as you push your heels back and get a good stretch in that lower calf, Achilles area, and the soles of the feet. Let your knees come down if they were floating. Turn your hands so that the forearms are facing forward. And then go ahead and make sure your fingers are spread and flat. And just lean back a little bit to give your forearms a stretch, whatever feels comfortable for you. Remember, we're always trying to back away from anything that's painful, and we're surfing our stretches gently. Placing your hands right underneath the shoulder points, and knees underneath the hips. Push your right heel out. We're going to move on to some core and back exercises here, and you might see how your hips adjust, maybe going down, etc. Try and flatten or level the pelvis as the hip goes back, and the option is to add that left thumb to the sky. So press firmly through that right hand. A little lift here in the thumb and the heel. Inhaling, and then exhale. You can stay there or you can lengthen out to the side. Inhale long. Exhale, sweep off center. Inhale, lengthen. And sweep away. Inhale, lengthen. Bring that hand down. Bend the knee, and then we're going to do a few donkey kicks. So push that heel up to the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let the ball of the foot come down to the mat. And this is now another opportunity for a good stretch in that leg. So push the heel back, lengthening out the back of that extended leg. And then let that knee come back down to the mat, cleansing breath. We'll take these moves on the other side. Push the left heel back. Working on our back for lots of stability here. Add the right thumb to the sky. Keep your whole table, tire of your back nice and flat, hips level. Inhale, a little lift here. Exhale, sweep off center. Inhale long. Exhale away. Check in with your neck. Maybe bring your gaze over the top of your mat. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Bring the hand down. Bend the knee, donkey kicks. Push that heel to the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, engaging that glute. 1 more. And let that ball of the foot come down to the mat for a good calf stretch. And the knee down to the mat. And then we're going to lower ourselves down fully to the mat here and work on a little bit of our cobras. So softly let the body come down. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulder points here. And we're going to take a cobra. So zip your legs together. Draw your shoulder blades down. And on the inhale, just a little lift. So keep your hands soft. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Push the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, lift. And release. Now bring your fingers out at 45 degrees from your shoulders. And we're going to come up on spider fingers. You'll notice that it's a little different experience in your back and shoulders when you have your cobra with spider fingers. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, soften. Inhale, push into the fingers, lift the heart, and soften. Try to use the back muscles here, drawing the shoulder blades down to lift the heart. and release. Bring the forehead down as you reach your arms out into a T now. Maintaining spider fingers, but the hands are out at the level of the shoulder. Inhale, rolling up. And soften. Inhale, lift. And soften. Once more. And soften. Sweep the hands right alongside the hips. And you might even tense your fingers like a hummingbird drawing nectar. Elbows together, zip the feet together, the legs together. And when you lift, I want you to think more lengthen than lifting. So lengthen out from the tippy toes to the crown. You may not even lift off the mat. Just lengthen, lengthen, breathe. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Releasing the forehead and the feet. Bring the hands underneath the shoulder points, tuck your toes, and push your hips up towards your knees. Walk your hands back towards your knees. And then come on up into a squat and let the hips rise up. Pedal out the back of the legs. Working those out, and it might help to put your hands on a block. As you're doing that, just lengthening the back of the legs, drawing the heels down, feeling the tailbone rising. Inhale for a half lift where you're pressing your hands on your shins, and then draw your shoulder blades down. So you have a nice flat back, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, soften, touch the earth. Inhale for another half lift. Exhale, scoop the navel in. Inhale, fill. Exhale, fold. Sweep those hands behind you as you squeeze your glutes, rising, tall mountain. And release. Beautiful. Well, we've made it up to the top of our mat, and let's begin in some flow practice now. So finding yourself at the top of your mat in a mountain posture, our feet parallel with the long edge of the mat. Take a moment to feel the weight of your heels, kind of right underneath your hip points here. The heel is the big bone in the foot. Let the toes spread. Almost call them fingers, but they're toes. Okay, and we're going to start with a little bit of a side bend. So raise your arms up to whatever is comfortable for you, and then take the arm in the other hand to come into a side bend. Now, if that's not available, you can also just keep your hands on your hips to do the side bend, or one hand on the hip and one hand up. So you choose what works for you. Push the hips in the opposite direction that you're bending. Inhale up and then switch to the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen. Over and a stretch. Inhale, lift. And side bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive. Let the tailbone lift and lengthen the back of the legs. And then a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep to the top. And release. Bring one foot behind the other. I'm bringing my left foot behind my right foot. And you can keep your feet in parallel if you'd like to. This is just a way to get a little more intense stretch on the back of the leg. If your balance is in question, then keep your feet parallel and or use a chair. Inhale the arms up. Exhale and float the heart forward. And now you'll notice as you're coming forward, you can use a block here under your hands. The back leg's getting a little bit more intense stretch. Just play with that a little bit as you fold. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold. Feel the stretch intensify. Inhale, sweep it up and release. Switching now the other foot behind. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, gently pushing the tailbone back as you float flat back down to the mat. Inhale for a half lift and fold. Lift and fold. Inhale, sweep it up and release, unfolding your feet. Now let's move forward into our flow. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Fold and step back on the right, bringing the knee down, untuck the toes, and let's sink a little bit with our hips. Let them come forward towards that heel. And you might even feel that energy of the back knee coming forward as the heel pulls back. So these two are working towards each other, helping open up the front of that hip flexor on the right. Raise your hands up. Exhale, bring them to the mat. Walk the hands back. Peel your toes up. Hamstring stretch on that front leg. You can move your toes a little bit side to side, feeling that stretch. And then as you come forward, come into runner's lunge. Tuck your back toes, lifting the knee. Option to use a block underneath your hands. That works really lovely here. Coming into your runner's lunge. Let the hips sink. Keep that front knee right over the ankle. So you have good stability here. Now we're going to push our feet apart from each other and rise up to crescent lunge. Back heel is lifted. Breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Bring that back heel down. We're coming to warrior 1. Option for temple fingers. Arms can be out to the side or on your hips. Feel the pelvic floor engaging as you exhale. Beautiful. Gently lower yourself back to the mat, stepping that left foot back to meet the right. We're coming into our flow here. So push up to down dog. Inhale back to plank. Push out of the hands. Bring the left knee down and kickstand it out to the side as the inner blade of the opposite foot comes down to the mat. Reach that hand up. Knee down, side plank. So you can tell on this side plank that you're very supported by your knee. Now if you'd like to increase the challenge just a little bit, an option is to bring that knee forward and bring your elbow down. So you lengthen out the spine a little bit. Get just a little bit more action and strengthening. Bring that hip up. Really use that to strengthen your spine. Okay, let's return to our down dog. So tucking the toes, plank, and then push up to down dog. Inhale the right foot up, bend the knee, stack the hips. And then sweep that right foot forward between the hands. Leave the left hand down, sweep the right hand to the sky. Dragonfly twist. Hands come down, step forward, fold. There we go. Inhale for a half lift and a fold. Inhale, sweep your hands up and release. Beautiful. Okay, let's take those moves on the other side. If you need a little sip of water or cleansing breath, please take care of yourself. When you're ready, rejoin practice. Mountain posture. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swan dive, floating flat back down to the mat. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold and step back on the left. 2 lanes of traffic here. Draw the hip and the knee, draw the knee and the heel together as you sink the hips. Opening that hip flexor, this time on the left. Let those hands rise and then frame the foot. Walk the hands back, peeling the toes up. Get a bit of a hamstring stretch on that front leg. And then gently walk yourself back up. Tuck the back toes, coming to our runner's lunge on this side. Option to bring that block in play. Helps our heart lift a little bit more and might make this pose a little more accessible for some of us. Press the 2 feet away from each other and rise into your crescent lunge. If you're having any instability, feel free to place a chair next to your mat so that you can touch that periodically. Let the back heel come down. We're entering Warrior 1. Option for temple fingers, or the hands can be in cactus. Let the front knee be over the ankle. Toes in the front at 12 o'clock, back toes to 10 o'clock. 2 lanes of traffic. Release the hands, frame the foot, step back for your plank. You're going to take from plank and move directly to down dog. Exhale here. Inhale back to plank. Bring the right knee down, kickstand it out. Knee down, side plank. The inner blade of the left foot comes to the mat. And just like on the other side, we'll bring our elbow down as an option and lengthen out the distance between the elbow and the knee, making the challenge just a little bit more for the core. Lift that upper hip and breathe. Now, if your shoulders bother you at all, then this is too much. And get more support under your knee. Bring that left hand down as you gently return to your plank. Exhale, push yourself up to down dog. Inhale the left foot up, bend the knee and stack the hips. Exhale, bring that left foot forward between the hands. Place the right hand down and come into that dragonfly twist. Hands come down and step to forward fold. Inhale for a half lift and fold. Sweep it up and release. Okay, we've made it through our first flow. How is it feeling for you? We will have a little breakout session at the end, and I look forward to your thoughts about what works well for those of you practicing this evening. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next flow. Remember, we're alternating the classes now between the chair yoga and then the mat yoga, so you can have both experiences through the weeks. All right, standing in your mountain posture. We're going to take our chair pose, so feel the weight in the heels and push the heels apart a little bit as you soften your knees and your hips. Keep pushing the heels apart. Option to raise your hands, chair posture, breathing. One more breath. And exhale and fold. Inhale for a half lift. Lengthen the crown forward, shoulder blades come down the back. Exhale, fold and step out to your plank. Holding your plank here. Exhale, bring that tailbone up to the sky, down dog. Inhale your left foot up, bend the knee and stack the hips. Now we're going to come to a side plank. You can take the side planks we've explored, but this time I'm cueing for a extended leg, side plank. So you slide it under your body and out in front of you. So you raise your right hand up. And take your time getting into your side plank and breathing. You do not need to do the side plank that I do, so choose what works for you and then return to your three-legged dog. And then bring that left knee down behind the left wrist. So this is for our pigeon pose, and this can work really well to slide the shin forward, but if you do that, make sure that you have flexed your ankle so that the stretch happens not in the knee, but actually in the outer hip. So just take a moment to feel that stretch. And then slide that shin back and return that foot to your three-legged down dog or your fire hydrant, opening the hip. Exhale, bring that left foot between the hands. We're going to come up in a warrior two posture. Front toes are at 12 o'clock, back toes are at 3 o'clock, and it's one lane of traffic. So one line between the back heel, the front heel and the back arch. Then feel your spine come up straight, crown of the head to the sky, arms parallel with the earth. And you can sink into it as much as is right for you. So it might not feel safe to go deep. Just keep the knee right over the ankle as you're sinking. Don't want the knee to tip in or out. Strong in those quad muscles. Press into that back heel and lift the kneecap. Coming into our peaceful warrior, the front hand rises, the back hand on the leg. Draw in your pelvic floor, keep the glutes engaged. Returning warrior two. Slowly straighten that front knee. We're going to come into Trikonasana, triangle posture. So feel yourself floating forward and drop that hand to the inside or outside of that calf, and then the other hand to the sky. So you want to stack your shoulders. Sometimes I like to use a block underneath my hand on the outside of my ankle, but you can also just rest your hand here on the inside of the thigh. You don't have to go super deep. In fact, you want to keep the spine with a little bit of space between your spine and the calf. Moving the hands now in the opposite direction, keeping the feet right where they are. Reverse triangle. And slowly bending that front knee, we're going to come to extended side angle. So gently with control in the core, bring the elbow to the knee. Top arm up, extended side angle. Let it reach over the ear. Feel that line of energy from your back heel through your fingertips. Breathe into the belly. Exhale, scoop it in. Pelvic floor. Draw the pubic bone towards the tailbone with exhale. Sweep up, warrior two. Feel the control. And gently sliding back to peaceful warrior. 3 breaths here. And the top hand slowly comes to meet the back hand. Interlace and draw them down. Feel the heart lifting, the collarbones spreading. Fold gently to the inside of that thigh. Release the hands to the mat. And we're going to take a turn to the long edge of the mat. Bring your toes with you. And let your heels go out wide. And your toes point in just a bit. Bring your hands right underneath you. Walk them through the legs. Allow a bit of an inversion here. Nodding your head, yes. Turning it side to side. Bring the hands back underneath the gaze and reach them out in front of you a bit. Let the tailbone lean back. Walk the hands over towards the back foot. Your left hand on the right calf or ankle, the right hand on the hip, and a gentle turn towards that knee. Surfing your stretch here, taking your time, breathing with the stretch. Then gently bringing your hands to the mat and walking that rainbow over to the other foot. Right hand on the left leg, left hand on the hip. Draw the heart towards the knee. Surfing that stretch here, micro bend in the knee, keep the knee happy. Breathing. Then bring your hands to the mat as you turn your toes back to the top of the mat. Step your left foot back to meet your right. And we'll take a little flow here. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Pausing in down dog for a breath or two. And then we'll take these moves on the other side. Inhale the right foot up. Bend the knees, stack the hips. We're coming into our side plank. Extended leg side plank. So bring that leg under the body and out in front of you. Left hand reaches up. Option for any side plank that you wish for. 2 or 3 breaths here as we work to find one side plank that's working for us. Bring your hand down and return to your 3-legged dog or your fire hydrant. The right knee comes behind the right wrist. Hand can go on a block. Keep the ankle flexed, especially if you bring the shin forward. And take that stretch in the outer right hip. Breathing with that. One more breath. And then slide that shin back. Returning your foot, your right foot to the sky. And then bring that foot in. We're coming into our warrior 2 pose on this side. So front foot at 12 o'clock, the back toes at 9 o'clock. 1 lane of traffic. Arms parallel to the earth. And definitely check in with your back arm because this can lean down. And so it's like, wait, bring that up. Feel the breath in your body. Spine is perpendicular to the earth. Front hand, palm up, peaceful warrior. Keep the legs engaged. Traction in the foot. Warrior 2. Core engaged with exhale. Straighten that front knee. Float into your Trikonasana, triangle posture. Stack the shoulders. And just imagine the body pressed between 2 panes of glass. Draw the right hip way back. Little micro bend in the knee. Holding the footing and gently switching the arms. Reverse triangle. And then soften the knee, bring the elbow to the knee as the hand reaches up and over, extended side angle. Feel that back heel and those fingertips. Can you feel them like a spear reaching away from each other? Breathe. Hold the pose and breathe. One more breath. Use your core to slowly float up Warrior two. Beautiful. And then coming to your peaceful warrior. Breathing. Bring the top hand down to meet the back hand. Interlace, draw the hands down as you broaden across the collarbones. Slowly folding with control. Lots of core work here. Release the hands to the mat. So you turn to the long edge of the mat. Turn your toes towards the long edge of the mat. Let the heels push away. Bring your hands to the sides of the legs, a little softness in the knees. Bring your hands down a little below the knees, maybe to the ankles, soften the elbows. Lift the tailbone as you draw your heart towards the earth. Breathing. Plant your hands underneath your gaze and gently walk your hands back to the top of your mat. So you step back your right foot to meet the left, coming to your plank. We're going to do a couple optional side planks here. Roll both heels off to the right and raise the left hand up. And then switch. Roll both heels to the left. The right hand comes up. And return to center. Breathing. Can you hold it for 3 more breaths? I'll bet you can. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Bring your knees down and let them walk through your hands as you come down towards the mat. We'll kind of traction our feet on the mat. Reach your hands forward and then push the small of the back towards the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, roll it back. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, roll it back. Inhale, lift, and roll it back. And this time, rolling it all the way down. Reach your hands overhead if that feels okay for you. Take a bit of a stretch. Squeeze the glutes. Bring your hands alongside your body. Roll the shoulder blades under. Bring your heels in towards your glutes. We'll take a bridge. You can grab the edge of your mat if you'd like to. Notice the navel and exhale, push the small of the back down to the mat. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, push it down. Inhale, fill. Exhale, down. And then gently roll the hips up, keeping the knees towards each other. Squeeze the glutes and lift. Breathing. One more breath here. And then vertebrae by vertebrae, lengthen that tailbone towards the heels. Bring your shins into tabletop, knees over the hips. And then lengthen the heel away as it taps to the earth, and then switch to the other side. So like a marching here, keep the core engaged and the small of the back towards the mat. Breathing, slowly marching. You're doing so well. One more each side. Bring both heels down, place your hands on the thigh bones, and press those thigh bones away. Lengthen out the spine. Then bring your hands alongside you. And we'll roll up into our bridge one more time. Lifting up. And then take your block, once you're up in your bridge, and set it underneath the sacrum. And just let yourself gently rest the sacrum on the block. And then float your knees and your heels up to the sky. Point through the toes, Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. Circles with the ankle. Take a breath here. Exhale it out, let it go. Letting go of some tension as we begin to unwind our practice. You might let your heels drift apart from each other as they get a bit of an inner thigh stretch. And then bringing your knees in towards the chest a bit, let the right heel go long as you lift your left leg up behind you. And then switching right heel. The left heel goes long as the right knee comes in. And take a bit of a stretch on the back of the leg here. And then both feet come down to the mat. Lift up enough to take your block out from underneath you. And then if you have your strap, now is the time to use it. If you don't have a strap, then you're going to just work with the, well, if you have any alternative of a strap, that's great. If you don't, then we can just work with the hands and just bring your hands onto the calf, okay? So we'll start out with our left leg here and just place the loop of this band over the left leg. And then use that strap to kind of pull it in and lengthen your own hamstring here by gently drawing that leg towards you. And maybe rocking a little bit left and right. And the option is here that you can lengthen out that leg all the way out to the side in an external rotation. And then switching sides, bring it through center. And let it rotate all the way over on an internal rotation. But then take your shoulders and turn them the opposite direction with your gaze out behind you. Breathing here. Long spinal twist. And you can continue to pull on that strap so it gives a little tension to the hamstring here. Whatever feels good in your body. And when you're ready, we'll gently move to the other leg, bringing yourself back to that center. Bring your right foot into the loop with the left, and then bring the left foot out. Start with a straight hamstring stretch. Draw it in, maybe rock just a little bit left and right. Let it float out to the external rotation first. See if you can keep the hips relatively flat on the floor. No goals here, just feeling the stretch. Be curious. Then when you're ready, let it come over for the internal rotation. Coming across your body, out in front of you, as your gaze comes out behind you. And keep straightening the knee a bit. Just exploring that stretch. Breathing to keep yourself relaxed in the work. When you're ready, bring that knee back into center. Take the strap off the foot and set it aside. We'll prepare now for our final resting posture. So find a comfortable position for your body. This can be in Shavasana on the mat, or perhaps you'd rather rest in your bed or on the couch. Those are all fine. If you're on your mat, take a moment to let your feet be a little bit farther away from the center of your body and your hands rolled open. Shoulder blades rolled under or tucked under. And the hands lifted in a gesture of acceptance with them open to the sky. And then lift the chin a bit and find your breath. Revisiting Francis Bacon's words, the preciousness of now, each moment sparkling like a diamond in the hand, yet melting like a snowflake. Sense the echo of your yoga practice in your body, gently softening your forehead and your eyebrows drifting away from each other. The eyes soft, the jawbone unhinged, the tongue thick, soften to the root of the tongue. Letting go in the throat, the neck, the shoulders. We hold so much tension in our shoulders. Just let them surrender now. Feel the heaviness on the shoulders right through the arms all the way to the fingertips. Exhaling. Let the chest grow heavy, the breath in the low belly, the hips heavy, and the left leg, let it be heavy from the hip to the knee, to the heel, and through the foot. And now the right leg from the hip to the knee, to the heel, and through the foot. The whole body surrendering now, yielding to the earth, and the earth rising to meet you, holding you, you resting in your surrounds. Deepening your breath a bit. Enjoying stillness or beginning to find movement you choose. Lengthen out in a bit of a stretch or draw your knees in towards your chest. Having a little bit of a gentle hug, comforting the low back. When you're ready, join me in a seated posture as we close our practice time together. I invite you to bring your hands to prayer. The light and life in me honors and acknowledges the light and life in each of you. May you know peace. Om Shanti. Namaste. Well, thank you, friends, for joining me for this practice. I hope you have a beautiful week.